So here we are at the Winecap bed that I have established here at the edge of the woodlot, and we're going to collect some chips out of this bed to propagate some more Winecap spawn for the wood chip bed that I'm establishing over by the house with the chips from the challenge. So what I'm going to do is take established Winecap spawn inoculated chips from down in here, and in these wood chips you can see there's lots of nice Winecap chip spawn in here. Tons of it. Really smells like mushrooms all of a sudden now that I'm breaking into this. And so we'll use this similar to Sean from Edible Acres has a video that I was inspired by to do this, where he was just taking cardboard and some compost and expanding his Winecap spawn. I think he was using some commercial spawn initially, which I started this bed with commercial spawn, and now I don't see any reason why I just shouldn't just use this, you know, because there's just a whole lot of it in here, and can just keep working for me. And like I said in another video, this bed here is more useful as a spawn providing source, since I don't have the ability to monitor this for fruiting, and I tend to miss this bed when it fruits. But yeah, that ought to be plenty. And I can just keep coming back to this whenever I want to establish more Winecap areas, pretty much indefinitely. This is a really thick, the chips are, you know, over a foot thick on this thing in places, and the spawn seems to be doing really well. So that should work great. I mean, you can see these are like really well inoculated with the Winecap spawn, and this should work perfectly. Okay, so we need to soak the cardboard prior to doing any of this. I'm just going to set it pretty roughly in this tub. Weigh it down. So the cardboard is a substrate I see a lot of people using for propagating mushroom spawn, and it's an easy thing to come by, and apparently it's really easy for the mycelia to colonize it rapidly. And it provides surprisingly large amounts of nutrients for them. And so I'm just going to do a mix of this cardboard and wood chips, and I'm going to tear up this cardboard, but it's a lot easier to tear up after it's soaked, you know, and it's softened. So I'll just get this soaking and prepare some of the other materials, and by the time I have everything put together, this stuff should be in a good condition for inoculating. That should hydrate pretty quickly. So the idea is more or less to have a variety of substrates for the wine caps to be able to feed on inside, you know, this bin. So I'm going to use some of these reasonably fresh chips that I've cut from the Cordwood Challenge, which are almost all white ash, and then I'm going to use this really fresh willow that I just cut from the coppice, and I'm going to try and just cleave them open just to increase the surface area a little bit on these thicker parts. So that's a halfway decent pile of chips. It's actually probably more of the willow than I need, so yeah, we'll see how these work. Okay, so the cardboard has been soaking for I don't know, an hour, and it's nice and, you know, easy to just rip apart. So we can just kind of get that out of the way. And this was in an old worm bin that I've used before, and I showed it, I think, in the last video that I made. So this was just a vermicomposting bin made out of a Rubbermaid tote, and now I'm gonna use it for the Winecaps inoculant, just because it's got these nice drainage holes in the bottom, and it should be perfect for being able to water it without, like, yeah, it should be fine. So we kind of have all of our ingredients here mise en place, right? So I'm gonna start with just layering all of the various ingredients together. Just put a couple of those, little bit of these ash chips for drainage, and then just throw torn up cardboard just layer everything. And I think just some layers of cardboard around the outside. And that about does it, I'd say. Maybe just kind of compact everything together. Get everything nice in contact. All right. So now I've stashed this guy here in the greenhouse underneath one of the benches, and that will enable me to just water it in when I'm watering the seedlings, so I can give it really consistent water. And I threw this piece of burlap over the top just to kind of give it a little more protection from the light, so that maybe it can get more fully inoculated and not dry out quite as quickly. And it'll also catch the water that drains out of the seedling trays up here, so it should be a nice moist warm spot to get the mycelia really growing quickly and to fully colonize all of that material. And then we'll use that to inoculate the chips from the Cordwood Challenge. Alright, so that's it.